Hello everyone, Michelle here with M&B Creations. So I have an order for a beach grapevine wreath, which is actually one of my biggest sellers. So I figured since I'm going to be making one, I'll show you how to make it. So it's pretty simple, pretty basic, not a lot of supplies, which makes it very inexpensive and affordable for others. Plus, if you want to make your own, everything I get as far as flower wise is from Hobby Lobby. This grapevine here is a 16-inch grapevine that I get from Nick's Seasonal Decor. You can get, I believe he carries an 18-inch, 16, and 14-inch as well, depending on what size you want to make. So, without further ado, let's get to it. I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit, and as it gets bigger, then I will zoom you out. Okay? Don't mind me, it's Saturday, it's snowing outside, springtime in the Rockies, and my husband's helping moving his dad, so I'm not putting makeup on today. This is all natural. So, alright, let me put my spectacles on. So I'm only using 2 ribbons, and they're both from Hobby Lobby. Okay, this is a burlap weave ribbon. Okay, just like that. And the number is TR19-906. And it doesn't have the price on it. Oh, there it is. No, it does not. Okay. But you can get these at 40% off. Okay, so I'm going to use this. It's very beachy, kind of reminds me of a fishing net. Okay, and Hobby Lobby carries this all year round, and I keep this on hand all the time. This is their starfish ribbon, and gives a little bit of natural and a little bit of blue. This is the Robert Stanley collection, and it's $5.99. Again, you can also get this at 40% off every other week. I think it's this week that the ribbon and the florals are 40% off. Okay, and the number for this is 1569151. So I'm going to start out with my burlap weave, and you know, I don't really dovetail this at all. I just cut the end of it to where it's close to the line that goes across. Okay. Oh, you guys have to bear with me. It's allergy season, even though it's snowing outside. Okay. So you want to leave enough to make a tail down here, and then loop it. So with a 16-inch wreath, it's going to be about 29 to 30 inches, give or take. Okay, so you just pinch it. Okay, loop it. And I don't measure anything, but for, and you can do this in a bow maker too. You don't have to do it by hand. But for tutorial sake, I'm going to go ahead and measure everything. So this loop is about, let's see, 7 to 8 inches long. Okay, so you just pinch it, and then you probably don't have to twist this. Let's see, but I usually do. Okay, just twist it and then bring it up, just like that. Okay, do the bunny ear test to make sure they're even. It's a little shorter. There we go. Okay, that's all the ribbon we're using of that. And in this one, I just leave a long tail. So let's see, this tail is about 14 inches. You could do your tail however long you want. You could do it as long as this one, and cascade it just like this one, but I like to leave it separate. Okay, so I'm going to do this loop A little bit smaller, see, than this one, but I'm going to make sure that it kind of goes over to the side like this. Yeah, just enough. I just bought some more, so, and I've got another roll up there. Okay, so I'm going to leave this long because this is the last of it. I can always just cut it if I need to. So I just kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Fluff it out in my hands. So before I let's see, you're gonna need some zip ties. I'm gonna use the brown ones instead of the clear ones. So I got some brown zip ties. These are about almost 12 inches long. And I want this bow to sit about right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this right in here like this. Actually, let's go like this. Go down. You just got to kind of get it to where you want it. There we go. Okay. Put this in here like this. You don't have to worry about the zip tie being seen because we're going to put a flower in the middle, but I like to use, like if I'm using a moss wreath, I will put a green zip tie, but if I like to match my zip ties to my grapevines, so that way they kind of blend. Okay. And you still kind of fluff it out a little bit. Another zip tie. Now you wanna loop it. You don't want it straight down like this. Okay, you want to just kind of take it and curve it with your hand. I'm going to put this right here. Now a lot of people have asked me where I get my easel, and this is actually just a tabletop painter's easel that I get from Hobby Lobby, and I got it on at 50% off. The only thing that I added to it was I added a white hook that you can probably see right here from Hallmark from Walmart. I'm going to leave this, I think, a little long. I can always cut some off if I need to. There. See how it just kind of... Now I'm going to dovetail this end. So what that means is I put this wire to wire, just like this, and I cut at an angle, and it gives you that pretty dovetail. Okay. Now I think this one, I am going to cut this one a little bit. So wire to wire, and cut this at an angle, just like that. See, it's pretty so far. There we go. Now I like to get these, like I said, these grapevines from Nick's Seasonal Decor. One of the reasons is they have the best grapevines because they clean them before they ship them. So they already, I don't have to do much to them, but just put them on an easel. See, most grapevines you get, whether it's from Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's is closed now, but anywhere you get your grapevines, they're such a mess. And his are always really not tight, but enough to where you don't have a bunch of holes. Like this one's got a couple holes in it. But what you can do is you can take some moss and kind of glue it in here to cover up those holes. This one down, this one up, just like that. Okay, now we're going to start working with some greenery. This is my favorite greenery to work with. This is sawgrass that I get from Hobby Lobby. Okay, this is a leftover piece. I'm going to go ahead and use that. Let me get this out of the way. I also do have my, you might be able to see it right here, is my floral pick machine. I don't remember if Hobby Lobby, I think Hobby Lobby has a pick machine, but they are expensive. They're about $200 and some a piece. Now this is, see, this is how it comes. Love it. And it drapes so well. And it's normally $41.99. You want to get this when it's 25% or when it's 40% off. That means it's about 25, I believe it is, instead of 41. But the number for this is 918946. You can buy stuff online at Hobby Lobby as well. But they take forever in shipping. In fact, I just sold another 2 of these wreaths, and I need to call them. And today's the last day of the sale for floral, so I had to either, and I'm not going to town because it's snowing, so I had to buy it online. But I got to call them on Monday and see if they will ship it sooner, because it just takes them forever. They ship it, but it takes forever to get to me. I'll even pay the extra shipping. I don't care. Okay, so I'm going to start right here. I'm just going to put some glue. You need to just move your on the side. You want it to drape. Okay. Okay, everybody can see this. I'm going to move you guys out just a little bit so you can see. There we go. Okay. Now, the stem at the top of where it connects to the handle is pretty stiff, so you don't have to worry about cutting that. But the stems going down this way are pretty flexible, so you want to use either a pick machine or what a lot of people use are, let's see if I have some. I don't ever use them, but I have them on hand just in case. Is these right here. See, it's got a little wire on it, so you can put it here like this and then wrap the wire around the stem. But I don't use these unless I run out of picks. So those work just as good. Okay, so I've got more picks, but hopefully I can. Sometimes I cut these in half because I don't want them going through the backside. I just need enough to where it's stiff. Alright, so put some glue here. And I'm going to put this like right underneath. Come on. There we go. Just like that. Okay, so you want one longer than the other. And this one I don't need a pick on because it's the top end of the stem. So I'm just going to put some glue on it. Okay, I'm going to make it kind of even to the one on the outside because I want the inside longer than the outside. Kind of give it that teardrop shape. So how this is going to work is this is going to go all the way around, and then this part right here I want it to kind of drape down like this. Okay. And I always start from the bottom on the grapevines and work my way around. Now you can look for these floral pick machines like on eBay or Amazon, or someplace that maybe have them on sale. Just do some research. I tell you what, it's like the best investment I've ever. I love it. I don't know what I'd do without my pick machine. Come on, just go in there. There we go. Okay. I want this full down at the bottom. And this one like right up in here. That's where the sometimes it could be kind of hard to get these in the grapevines if they're too close together. Alright. That one bent on me. I'm trying to get it underneath where that zip tie is, but it's too tight. So trying to figure out where I can put this. Alright. That's coming off. Okay, there we go. I think I'm going to keep this one full because I need the point to get it in there. Right there. I'm going to kind of just try to go underneath here. There we go. Don't worry about your ribbon. You want the ribbon to be on the outside. Okay, I'm going to leave it long like that. Now, what I do with this is I usually just cut a piece off the top. And another piece. You want to layer it. You want some long layers and some short layers. There we go. Sorry, probably keep hearing that on my table. I'm sorry. Okay. Now the only glue I use for my glue gun is Gorilla Glue. I've never ever had a problem with it not staying. So I have a 40-foot Connex box. And if for those of you who don't know what a Connex box is, it's a shipping container that basically it's a cargo container. Those metal cargo containers that they put on barges to import goods to our country. And so they have them in 8-foot and is it 8-foot? 8-foot and 40-foot. I've got a 40-foot one, so it's big, it's long, and it's all metal. And so in the summertime it gets extremely hot in there. I mean, when it's 110 outside, it can get 150 in there. And same with the winter. You know, when it's 10 degrees outside, it could be like a freezer box in there. And none of my stuff has ever come off. It hasn't melted off, and it hasn't just fallen off. So I use Gorilla Glue religiously. It's the only glue I've found that will hold up. Now Walmart carries the glue sticks, but I normally get mine on Amazon. They're the same price, but half the time when I go to Walmart to get them, they're out. So I just, and that way with Amazon, I don't have to go anywhere. It's delivered to me. Okay. So now we're going to start. See, it's pretty full down here. So I'm going to start building up this way. Okay. Cutting as you go. We're going to fill out the sides and on the inside as well. Now you've probably seen, and I don't know what it is, but you've probably seen the trend for the bead grass wreaths. I personally like the sawgrass better, but you can actually do more with it because the bead grass comes in stems, and it's hard to get a drape like this with the bead grass. Alright, let's see. I'm going to start cutting this. So how you want to cut this is, see this V right here? You want to cut right above this stem right here, okay? So you want to cut right here. That's a little long. I'm going to cut that shorter. Okay, so I just start cutting them. Sorry, I gotta keep remembering. I want a tutorial. Slamming my tools down on the table is not kosher. Okay, where's that long one? It's right here. Okay, so I'm gonna get this one. So you could get so many, I mean, look at, this is just half of one. You can get so many picks out of it. I've actually used one of those sawgrass garlands, like, I don't know, I think it was like 4 or 5 different designs. So now you want them a little bit shorter because you want them to kind of flow out instead of down. Okay, and I'm going to cut these a little bit. Okay, I have to keep checking my phone. I do have it on, I don't have it on Do Not Disturb, but I do have my, so you want it to kind of stick out like that. I do have it on no sound because my husband is driving in the snow, which worries me, and he has to get gas later, and we're trying to use this app. I don't know if you guys ever use the Smart Rewards app if you have a loaf and jug where you are, but they upgraded the app and now he can't get it on his phone, and he called them. They're like, well, you have to update your device. So he checked it out. Basically what they're saying is you have to get a new phone. Seriously? You did an update, so now everybody has to get a new phone? Mine hasn't updated, thank goodness, so I can still use the app on my phone. But just Smart Rewards, it just helps you save money on gas, and you get rewards for like free drinks and stuff like that. So I'm also going to start doing the inside as well. You don't want to forget the inside. Okay, so I'm just going to put one like right here. It's going to be super fluffy when we get done with it. This part can be kind of monotonous because all you're doing is putting greenery in. So, you know, if you get bored with this part, you can always fast forward. Now I do mine with a monogram or without a monogram. So the monogram she wanted was a P. Okay, and you can get these from, I get these from Build Across, and they have them in all different shapes. That one is the vine shape, and then I have one here. Hold on, I'm not going to fall, everything doesn't fall over. Let me show you. Because I've got a different monogram. No. There we go. So this, I gotta fix that. This is the Beltorian shape. This is the monogram type that my new customer wanted, and she wants double door, so which is always fun because you got to figure out how to do one wreath backwards. That's always fun. I'll fix that later. Okay, so again, I get mine from Build Across. You might check Etsy too. There's a lot of people on Etsy that do the monograms. It's just an unfinished wood that I paint. You can paint them any color. But I usually offer it in white, black, and an antique look. Like a farmhouse type look. To where the paint looks like it's kind of coming off a little bit. That antique-y type. Okay. So I'm just kind of putting these in. See how it's starting to take shape? Now with the monograms, I always get the 12-inch by a quarter-inch. You don't want the 18th inch or the 8th inch because your staple will go through the other side. So you want at least a quarter-inch. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Allergies. Such fun. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how many you can averagely get from one stem. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so, and 9. So about 9 of these. You know, you could use basically one of the, if you're doing like a, just a simple wreath, or even like those big fluffy wreaths like I normally make, you may only have to use just as a little bit of greenery, just use one of these. That's how I've used this whole vine thing like 4 or 5 times. Because I do make the big fluffy wreaths too, but not as often as I make these. Actually, grapevines sell a lot better than those. And they're so expensive to create because you need more supplies. What? Gotta keep the hand out of the glue. Now, if you've never used florals before in your wreaths, one thing I do suggest is, you know, get an inexpensive grapevine, like a small one, and some like silk florals from the Dollar Tree, so you're not wasting a bunch of money, and just practice with those. Just practice placing them, and that'll give you a good idea. Give you some practice. Come on, just stand there. It does not stay. There we go. I've been doing this for a long time, so I can usually see where I need some and just put it there. We are going to kind of fill in this part a little bit too, just because you can see the stems, the metal part of the stem, and I don't want that to be seen. These do not want to go in today. It's a little tight. Oh, that's where it's going. I might just stick these in there a little bit because there's a little bit of a gap, and I don't there's a little bit of gap in some places, and then there's it's really tight in some others, but it's not so bad either way that I can't get stuff in there. Sometimes this tip helps you get your stuff in there a little bit easier. There we go. You know, and your ribbon will hide that too. You just gotta kind of find a spot to, there we go. I like to kind of twirl it in at the bottom a little bit. I know, I mess with my ribbons all the time. If people that followed me for a long time know that I can't stop messing with my ribbon. See how that's starting to look? You want it kind of draping, but fanning out at the same time. It's kind of like, for those of you who've been to the ocean know what I'm talking about, but for those of you who've never been to the ocean, when you see the sawgrass swaying, it sways all over the place. I'll show you a wreath that I've actually done this with as well. Let's see if I can get this down. This is one that I've also done with the sawgrass. Isn't that pretty? Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Didn't I just get one? Yeah, there it is. And sometimes these do come off, but you could, if you find the area where it came off, you can just glue it back on. Or you can use it as just a little bit of extra somewhere. I got 14 out of that one. That's why I love that. I love it. Let's see. I want this one. This one's a little bit longer, so I want it to drape right up here. Like that. I know this part's kind of the boring part, but like I said, You get bored of this part, just fast forward it. Okay, oh. You know, wreaths are a great way to express your personality on your front door. It gives your neighbors something pretty to look at. If you're in a neighborhood where you're kind of close together. I live out in a rural area, so I don't put wreaths on my front door. Nobody's going to see it. I don't even see it. So what's the point? But you know, it just shows your, oops, there we go. See how that's sticking out like that? I love that. You can do so much with wreaths. Spring is actually my busiest season. Okay, y'all. So here it is, all fluffed out, and you could add more or less, whatever you'd like. Sorry, I got a phone call and I had to answer it, and I figured, well, I'll just finish the rest of it because it was getting a little boring, I'm sure. So, look how fluffy that is. Love it! Okay, this one's like sticking straight up. I might cut that one off right there and stick it somewhere else. So you guys are probably wondering why I'm wearing this back brace. I have arthritis in my back. And so, if I sit or stand for too long, my back starts to hurt, and this relieves a lot of that pressure. So, there. I just kind of stuck that in there. Alright, here we go. So, I brought out a little bit of moss. You can use moss sheet or just loose moss. But once we're done, because you can kind of see all the mechanics right here. So once I get done, if I can still see that, I'm going to put some moss right there because it'll match everything else that's already in here. Kind of just move these around so they'll fluff themselves out. And I may need to put another one right there. Just another one. I only need one more. There's a little hole right here. Alright, I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to move this right up into this section up here, so when it so you can't see the mechanics of it. Just kind of find a spot, just kind of stick it in there. There we go. There. Okay. So I actually have three of these. So I have 3 of these left. I still got quite a bit left. So I can use this for my custom. That's not my custom, but my double door order. And I want to show you this. I'm going to make a wreath out of it, but I wanted to show you this garland that is really pretty for spring, and you could take it apart and use it as picks. Isn't that pretty? Now this is also from Hobby Lobby. It's regularly $40, so you can get this 40% off. And like I said, these are just wrapped in here, and these are actually just picks that you could take and just put them in wreaths, which I'll probably just end up doing. But I just wanted to show you that. And look for garland at a good price. putting all this stuff away. Something else you can look to as well is these picks right here. These are one of my favorites. These picks right here. I love the different shades of color in it, and it's soft colors, more of a frosted look. These were also taken off of a 6-foot garland. And it's cheaper than buying these in picks, because the picks, and you can actually get 2 of them out of it. And the picks that were actually this size, if you buy, I think I got like 10 of these, 10 or 12 of these off of the garland, so which means you get like 24 picks. But just this pick alone, if I would have got 24 picks, would have been almost 3 times as much as the garland. Okay, just so a tip there. And the garland that I got that soft one off of is from Factory Drip Craft. So check them out. They have got awesome stuff. Alright, so I'm going to use some of this. Now this is from Hobby Lobby, and the number is 336404. And so I'm just going to kind of cut these off. Why there's string on it, I don't know. I got this in the blue. This is regularly $5.99. And I also got it in the cream color. That kind of resembles the color of sand. It's a little piece. Okay, take some little pieces from the top. Okay, I like to have some big pieces and some little pieces. That way you can spread the love around a little bit. Okay. If you guys are looking for an awesome pair of clippers, these are amazing. These are Kinepix. I don't even know what size it is anymore because it's just kind of rubbed off the back. But I got these on Amazon. I believe they're 8-inch. Let's see. There's the 10. Yeah, these are 8 inches long, but I love them. My husband even uses it sometimes. I'm like, don't break it. Alright, so I got 2 of these of each color, but I'm thinking I may only need 1. See, this is the cream colored one. And the number on this one is 335174. And those of you who've been following me for a while know that my tutorials can be kind of long, but I am very picky about placing stuff, and I'm very detailed oriented, I guess you could say, and a perfectionist, so it can kind of take me a little bit longer to get these done than it would normally anyone else. I can't just stick it in there and then walk away and go, that's good. I have to look at it, make sure that's where I need it, then put glue on it, then put it in. So, but at least you know you're getting a quality product. Okay, there's that. Okay, so we have some of the blue, and those are pretty. I'm just going to kind of alternate them. In fact, I may cut some of these little ones off. Now these have thicker stems, so you really don't need the pick machine. Now, in order to keep your, if you're selling your wreaths, in order to keep them fairly inexpensive, you want to use the less, I'm going to sit back and take a look at it real quick. You want to use the less product that you possibly can. I think I need more over here. To keep it affordable. Because the more product you add in it, the more expensive it's going to cost. And then you have to pass that on to your customer. Okay, here's the blue kind of start moving these out of the way. Like that. Okay. And these are bendable too, so they're all wired, so you can kind of bend them. Alright. And these will start filling up some of the holes as well. Gonna kind of move some of this stuff out of the way. I want it kind of peeking through the sawgrass, like that. Okay. I may not even need all of this. We'll see. Sometimes you can just kind of put glue on it and stick it in there. I'm going to put this, let's see, do I have a longer one of this? I think I'm going to put one of these longer ones down at the bottom. Like that. And I think I may end up putting a pick on it to add a little bit more length, because I want it to kind of drape down like this. And I don't have a long piece. Come on, get up in there. It just doesn't want to find a spot. There we go. There. Okay. And I need one of these. Sometimes if their stems seem a little soft, go ahead and put a pick on it. Kind of trying to put it in between. When it starts getting tight, it's hard to find a spot. There we go. I'm going to cut this one off as well. You can get a lot out of one of those stems. Like I said, I got two, but I think I'm only going to need one. Here. Like I said, if I start seeing the silver from the stems, I'm going to get some more blue. So you only need a little bit. Like I said, and I may not even use the whole stem. I'm going to kind of take some, there we go. Okay. What do you guys think so far? Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to get notification of new content. I don't do lives on Facebook anymore. But I am going to start doing lives on TikTok. And eventually I'm hoping to do some lives on YouTube. So we'll see. So if you want notifications of lives and things like that, click the subscribe button. It helps me out. And if you'd like and comment, that also helps me out with the algorithm as well. I appreciate it. I'm kind of steering away from Facebook more and more, so you know, it is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna stick that one like right there. Stay in there. Alright. Step back. Sometimes you need to really kind of step back quite a ways and look. You know, I am going to need some more of that right here. Because once you put it up in the door, this will kind of go forward like this. Because it's going to flatten out up against the door. Let's see here. So I got two. I think I'm going to put a blue on this side and a cream color on this side. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to combine these two, a blue and a cream colored, because I want to kind of put one right up in here to kind of get rid of this hole right here. There we go. That's what it's supposed to be doing. And I've got a cream on this side and a blue on this side, so I'm going to alternate the two to where I have a blue on the right and put it right there. Okay, just like that. I'm going to cut this a little bit. I'm just going to go right through this weave right here. Tight right here. Really? Wow, tight. There we go. Alrighty then, looking good. So I may do the same thing right up here with a small one of these. I'm going to put these together. Okay, kind of fan that out. I wish they made these picks just a little bit shorter. I'm not going to worry about putting it all the way down because I'm going to put a flower right there. So, kind of go like that. I should have put the blue on that side, but that's okay. Alright, this looks like you gotta, you know what, let me do this. Let me try to switch sides. There we go. There. 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 I'm not going to put any more of this in there because I've still got other flowers to put in, but I still have all of this of the blue, and then this of the cream, so I can add more if I want later. Okay, so I don't need any more of this. You know what, I'm going to cut down these stems because they're so long. It's hard to store them when their stems are this long. Okay, there's one. I mean, look how long that is. I don't know if you can see that. Holy cow. Do we really need a stem that long? I mean, I get it. If you're putting it in a big vase, it makes sense. I always have to cut them down because they're too long for my garbage can. now I'm going to do the flowers last, the big flowers that go in it. So I do have some of this. Love this stuff. And this is $5.99. All the prices I give you are before the discount, okay? So it's $522,219. Let's see, so you can get 3 of that. I am going to put picks on it because and you can actually cut this down, which I usually do. 1, because this one's a little too long. This one's got 4 on it, so you can cut it down to 2. See? Cut it right there. And you got 2. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 out of this. Not too shabby. You want to find stuff that, and these don't bend. Well, one of them does, so you can kind of push it out a little bit. You want to find stems that you can take apart and kind of spread out. Now this is going to give it more of a whimsy look, which I love. Alright, I'm going to start down at the bottom. I don't know what's falling on the floor, but what was that? I don't know. I'll find it later. Okay. So you want the longer one towards the middle. Like that. I might just cut that a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then this one I'm going to put down here. Just try to move these as much as you can to get past the. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Alright. What do you guys think so far? Pretty, huh? And I am going to put another one right up in here. So I might take my pliers and take the middle piece and kind of bend it. There we go. I'm just taking the middle piece and kind of manipulating it a little bit so it's not hanging off towards the side. There we go. You know what? I don't like it sticking out that far. Hold on. See if I can take this out. I'm going to cut this a little bit. Take some length off of it. And at this point, you know, I think I can start just kind of gluing them in there without the stem. There. Okay. I'm going to kind of bend this a little bit once I put the pick on it. See, one of them, this does not bend, but one of them does. So you can kind of make it go out like that. think I'm gonna have to. I'm looking at it, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to put some moss right there in the middle, which you won't really see it, but you don't want to. Well, you don't want to see all the mechanics in there. Just saying. I'm gonna try to put this behind. There we go. Needs to go down a little bit more. Okay. The longer one is the one that's wired. This one, yep. But it only has a little bit of wire from like right here to here. That came apart. Okay. So I'm going to take this wire, I'm just going to push it down a little bit, just like that. Okay. Step back here. Looks pretty. Although, thinking about making them shorter. Let's see if I can put these out. Yeah, I'm gonna make these shorter. I don't want them sticking out so far like that. To me, they're sticking out too far. But once you cut that part off, you're not going to have the wire in there, so. Same one like that. The ones down at the bottom are okay. I just don't want so much of it sticking out. That's better. Okay, let's take this one. Out. There we go. There. I don't like them sticking way out here. I mean, I want some airiness to it, but I don't want it so predominant that it looks funny. And to me, it looks funny. Can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Alright, then we'll take this one out. Oops, that came out with it. That's okay. See, that's much better. Okay. There we go. That one up a little bit. You can kind of manipulate them a little bit. Okay. I do need one more, and I'm only going to need two. I've got quite a bit. I guess I didn't need to buy all those. I bought some more. That's okay. I'll have some for future. Okay. So, I'm just going to take these off. And I'll put the link for these Kinepex in the description below. If you don't see it down there, remind me. I always got so much going on, it's hard to remember. I'm going to go ahead and cut these down. gotta make sure my husband didn't text me. It worries me when he's running around in the snow like that. Okay, I'm gonna put this one kind of like right in here. There, and I'll help it stay up. You don't want to forget about the inside either. It's kind of backwards, isn't it? There we go. That was backwards. Okay, this one's got 3. There. Okay. We're getting there, y'all. You know, when I started doing grapevines, I'm like, oh, this will be great because they won't take me as long. Well, they do. That's when I realized, it's not the wreath itself, it's the fact that I'm just meticulous. Let's see, I need something to grab here. There we go. Okay, there's that one. I have some to put on the inside a little bit. In fact, I got 4. I'm just going to take these apart. Okay. Let's see. Okay. This one, I think I'm just gonna kind of glue it in there. I don't need to pick on it because it's getting so full up in this area. I can just stick this right there. How about back here? Let's do that. There we go. Okay. I know my ribbons are gonna get all bent up, but let's see. This one I think I'm gonna need a little bit of a pick on, unless I can stick it right here. Nope. You gotta remember when you're adding these picks, it does add length. So if we're not wanting the length, you need to cut your flower just a little bit shorter. Okay. And I got one more. And I could always use some from the other ones, but I don't want to. I don't want to. How pretty that is. We still have 2 different flowers and a berry to put in there. So okay. Now, one thing you do have to remember, I'm going to show you, and you can fix this at the end, which I will, but you want to look on the back. See these? You need to cut these. There's some here. Then I have to cut these. I don't know if you can see all these. This is what happens when there's a lot of openness right there. Again, you can put some, once you cut them down, if they're still kind of poking through, you can put some moss on the back, and that'll help. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Okay, now we have some of these. I like putting these in here. Now normally I get the cream ones, but they were out of cream, so the white will work. But these are $6.99, and the number is 201-6335. And I'm going to cut these down too. So you're only going to get like 2 from each one. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in front or in between kind of, and these are all wired. I mean, these have a pretty hefty stem on it, so you can just stick it in there. Let's see. I'm trying to get this out of the way. There we go. See, you can bend them. Just like that. Okay. Now I am going to cut these because there's 3 on one. I only need, let's see. I love how these just bend. I love it. And I want to put this like right back in here. Like that. And you only need a little bit of these. So I think 2 might actually do it. We'll see. Maybe 3. Put this back here. There we go. I'm going to spread them out a little bit. There we go. See, it makes such a big difference. I even like the greenery on this, and usually I don't, because it looks like the, almost reminds me of seaweed almost. I'm going to cut this way because I want to put this long one, and I am going to add a pick to it because I want some more length to it. I mean, it adds just a little bit, like maybe an inch, but I think that might be all I need because I want to put this at the bottom. There we go. Kind of put it up so you can see the flower. Perfect. Move this over just a tad. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to get another one. So we'll probably be using 3 of these white. I'm gonna try to put this one down in here. I'm gonna let that dry for a minute and then I can manipulate it a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna need another one because I still gotta put some down here. Hot. That didn't work. Not on my finger though. I just need. See, once it gets full in here, it's hard to see what you're doing. There we go. Here. Okay. I need one more. So 3 of the white or cream, whichever color you want to put in there. And I brought quite a few. So, hi Chicky Sue. My doggie is making her appearance. Okay, I'll cut this down a little bit. If it gets too tight like that in there, just go ahead and put a pick on it because that pointy end will help you spread apart the grapevine. Okay. Alrighty then. We're getting there, guys. There's that one. And you don't want to put too much right here because that's where this is going to be going. You don't want to cover up too much of it. Okay. In fact, I think I'm going to put it up just a little bit more. Right there. It's hard not to keep going around. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to put a pick on this one. Okay, I got it fixed. Those things can be a little temperamental sometimes. Let's see. I want to put this one like right up underneath here. Alright. We're almost done. I got one little flower left. Let's see. I'm going to take it back look, I need something right here. We're almost done, guys. I know, I just keep saying that, but we are almost done. There's a big gap right there. I think that's why I keep having problems. Got it just a tad. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put some moss back there. In fact, let me go ahead and do that now because, for one, it makes a mess. I prefer using loose moss for this, but I don't have any on hand. So, you get this at Hobby Lobby. I'm just going to start out a little bit. Hopefully I don't burn myself. Okay, let's go right up under here. Gotta move all of your stuff out of the way. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now you can't see them. Yep. Okay. This one needs to go down a little bit. I want this to hang like that. And we'll do the same thing with the back. I'm not going to do that right this second. Okay. See, now you can't tell. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Want this to kind of go up a little bit more. Alright. So, I do have some of these. Normally, on my listing, I don't have these on there, but I thought they would look really cute. What I normally put in my wreath that I have listed is these right here. But seeing how it's snowing today, and today's the last day of the sale, I can't get there, so I'm going to compromise. But these, aren't they cool? It's got a little bit of this in it, and some little white flowers, and I love these little things right here. But, like I said, I don't have any. I had to order some, which it's not going to be here in time to get this out. So, I'm going to have to put picks on these. I'll give you the number here for this in a minute. So, I don't know, these little bumpy things, they remind me of starfish, which I do have some that we're going to be putting in here, so. This I cannot cut up because I have a floral cutter, but it's it's buried. It's buried. Alright, so let's put some of these in here. And I think I'm going to put this one right in here. I'll be kind of gentle with those because the berries will fall off. You just want to kind of hide them a little bit. see if I can put one right back here. Okay, kind of hiding a little bit. And this one, I'm actually gonna see if I'm just gonna put it in here like that. Okay, let it dry for a little bit before I move it. And these can bend too. Just like that. I've got 4 left. So I'm going to be strategic about where to put them. I'm going to stick that up underneath here. Okay. Okay, 2 more. So I'm going to put one right in here, one right down in here somewhere. This one's got a little bit longer stem on it, so I think I'm going to put this one right down in here. It's all about balance. Okay. And then this one. I'll go right in here. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now for the flowers, and then I'll show you how to put the monogram on, and then we'll be done. I only have 3 flowers, so I'm not putting many in there. Those are my kind of main focal point. So the flowers I have are these right here. So I got 2 roses and a ranunculus. Okay, the ranunculus I put in the middle, and then I put the 2. You also have this too. The number for this one is 792846, and it's $6.99. This one I do keep kind of short. Okay. I'm just going to stick it in here just like that. You want to make sure your ribbons are where you want them before you stick it in there. Okay, just like that. I just hold it like this so I don't get glue over my hands, and just stick it in there. Okay, and then with this one, I don't particularly care for the leaf. There we go. Alright, I don't use this bud very often, so you can use it if you want to, but And the leaves on this aren't bad either. I mean, because it does give it kind of that, it's got a softer tone to it, so you can use the leaves if you want to. I just don't. Alright, these leaves I do not use, but sometimes I do save them for other projects. So I do take those off. Because there's a project I'm coming up with that's going to be used those. Alright, so I cut them to where they're about like that long. This one is the Natural Brilliance, and this one is 533695, and it's $7.99. Now you could go into Hobby Lobby when you go online and you can put them all in your favorites. That way you don't have to keep looking them up. And that was the hard way. Actually, I'm going to cut that down just a tad. So maybe like that long. So that's about 2.5 inches. Because you're going to add like another inch onto it, and these bend because I'm going to put one on each side. This one right up under here, and that just went right through. There we go. And like that. There, we'll poke that out just like that. Okay, and we'll take the other one, do the same thing. I do like these leaves. I like them because they've got these different shades of green in it. And it's perfect for like adding to a wreath or a centerpiece or something like that. Up like that, and I'm gonna put this like right back in here. Really? Come on. By the time I find a spot, the glue's gonna be gone. There we go. Just like that. Yes, there we go. Alright, I'm going to stick back to, we're going to still put starfish in it. And, alright, so we'll put the starfish in. You can get these at Hobby Lobby. The number is 163071. They're $3.99. I don't know if these go on sale. I know I needed them, so I just grabbed them. So I didn't need a lot, honestly. Comes in 3 in a package. And there's a big one, medium one, and a small one. Or you can find them on the beach if you're lucky enough. I'm going to put this big one like right back in here. Like that. Actually, there's two the same size. And then I'll put one here. Maybe. And then one right here. Just like that. Okay. Funny how I find a spot for it, and then when I go to put it there, it doesn't want to go there. You're going there. I win. You ever play the I win game with your stuff? I win. It's like that, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that show, Big Daddy, or something like that, with Adam Sandler. Why is this game called I Win? Because I win. That's why. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right up in here. There we go, right there. And I'll put a little bit of glue right up under here. There. And the wind's blowing now. Y'all, in the springtime here in Colorado Springs, Colorado, which is where I'm at, the wind blows for like a month and a half, 2 months at a time. And it's so it's exhausting. You can't do anything in the wind. You know, you can't go outside. Even if it's like 70 degrees outside and it's still windy, you still can't do anything. It's like, what's the point? Sorry. I know. I'm complaining. There. Alright, let's put on the... Let me get this off my water. See, some of the little berries came off. And then you get static on them so you can't get them off your hand. So on my table. Alright, let me get my staple gun. Yeah, you can get a staple gun pretty much anywhere. Harbor Freight, Lowe's, Home Depot, you know, anywhere that they sell tools. I got mine. You can see the wording on it. There we go. At Lowe's. It's a Stanley boss stitch, heavy duty, and I use the 1/4 inch nails. So let me see. You're gonna need 2 pipe cleaners. Okay. And just fold them in half. Okay. Alright, so let me see. This is going to go up here, like that. So I'm going to need one right up here and right over here. Okay, so I'm going to mark them. I just put a tiny little dot so I can see it. You don't want a big old blob of black on the back of it, or they're going to be like, what the heck is that? Okay. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see. There we go. And I'll put this down here. Okay, so I made a little tiny dot right here. And I'm going to take my staple gun, put that right in the middle. Don't tell me that went right through. Did he switch my... Hold on. I let my husband borrow this, and he put the 1/2-inch staples in here instead of the cord, which I had in here. Golly. Thanks, honey. Appreciate it. I told him, put them back in when you're done. Nope. Why would you do that? I'll show you how to fix it because it went right through the front. I love these snippers. Okay. These snippers get right, oh, here we go, right down to the flat surface. Alright. Let me find my quarter. It pisses me off. Here's the quarter. Up or down. I haven't used this in a while, so I think it goes up. Yep. Let's try this again. I'm gonna hurt somebody. Okay, let's try this again. That's better. See, didn't go through. Now, what you can do, and I'll do this later, but what you can do is see how it went through the top. Just take a dab of white paint and put that over the top. And then I just twist it. Take this one, put it right on that dot. Put a little bit of glue there. See, it doesn't go through the... Somebody's getting a ration when they get home. Just saying. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to get a little bit closer for this. The glue webs off of it. This up under here, down here. Alright, so now go through. I know you can't see, but just find a space that's got a little bit wide. Okay. Pull really, really tight. We're also going to glue this too. Okay. And put this down here. I have to kind of find a hole that. There we go. There we go. Let's see here. Put this down here. And I can just go around the back like this. Actually, that needs to go over a little bit more. See, it's hard to get these positions sometimes. There. And then once these pipe cleaners start bending, it's hard to keep them from I'm going to take off this, there we go. And now I need to lift it a little bit. Stay in there. It's actually a lot easier than it looks. I'm doing a tutorial, so it's giving me a hard time. There we go. Yeah. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue right there. I'm going to hold it. Let me show you a little trick. Okay. I've got this air gun. It's a little loud, but ta-da! It keeps you from having to sit there and hold your item for a long period of time. It's not going anywhere. All right. There we are. Alright, let me step back and take a look at it. Oh, pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. It turned out really pretty. Alright, what do you guys think? There, now you can see the whole thing. I love how it turned out. So pretty. Very beachy. She's gonna love it. And then when I go to the back, I'm gonna knock over my coffee. Okay. Then I don't usually take these off until I get ready to sell it, but it's already sold, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take these off and tuck them in. Okay, so then I'm going to take these off. I'm going to get my, let's see if these will do it. It might be too, yep. I want to put some moss back here too. Come on, there we go. Definitely don't want to step on those. I want to get at least the point taken off, because or what you could do is you could take it and turn it under. Okay, see how many there are right there? I'm just going to take the points and put them under. They're not sticking out. Then take a piece of moss Okay. Some glue right here just to get it started. I'm gonna have to get another glue stick. Ugh. Oh, that one is still sticking up. There we go. I'm going to press it down. I can feel this one right here. I just put a little bit of glue at a time so I can kind of make it turn the way I want to. We're going to have to add some more down there. And you probably can't really see what I'm doing. My big fat head's in the way, but I'm going to push it in there. Because if there's anything sharp poking out right there, it's not going to hurt their door. So I can feel a couple little points, but they're so small I can't get them turned or anything, or clipped, so this will help. Alright, let's see. Okay. I don't have anything else poking, so we're good there. Alright. See, moss makes such a mess. Alright, let's turn it back around. It looks beautiful. So you'll see once I put it on the door and take a picture of it how this will pull forward. Okay, and it'll fill it even out even more. Alright, y'all. I hope you liked it. Sorry it took so long. Just like that. Alright, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get notifications of new lives, information, and new videos. And I will see you on the flip side. Bye, guys.